Breaking news earlier today, James O'Keefe from Project Veritas reportedly has a bombshell to drop on the mainstream media and the news and political world as we know it. He released a video earlier today alluding to the fact that he had been on a conference call with Jeff Zucker, the president of CNN, for the last 2 months on mute. And what he recorded is apparently, according to him, quite incriminating. Here we go. O'Keefe dials into CNN conference call with senior leadership, tells Jeff Zucker he will release tapes of editorial calls tonight. Zucker panics and hangs up. He doesn't actually hang up immediately. I watched the video. He kind of seems to dawdle around for a while and sort of try and listen in on what James O'Keefe is saying before he finally hangs up. But it is quite amusing. James O'Keefe on Tuesday morning dialed into CNN's conference call with senior leadership and told President Jeff Zucker that he has been recording insider calls for 2 months. O'Keefe live streamed the call to Periscope. "Do you still feel you're the most trusted name in news?" O'Keefe asked Zucker. A very nervous Zucker skirted around the question and said, thank you for your comments. So everybody, I think in light of that, we'll set up a new system and we'll be back with you. We'll do the rest of the call a bit later, okay?" Zucker said as he hung up the call. He actually didn't hang up quite immediately, and I will go ahead and show you the video now. It is quite amusing. Actually, let's do this since Gateway Pundit is kind of slow. Let's do this. We'll go to Twitter.
Washington.
You're unmuted.
Hey, Jeff Zucker, are you there? Hey,
Yes.
This is James O'Keefe. We've been listening to your CNN calls for basically 2 months, recording everything. Just wanted to ask you some questions if you have a minute. Do you still feel you're the most trusted name in news? Because I have to say, from what I've been hearing on these phone calls, I don't know about that. I mean, we got a lot of recordings that indicate you're not really that independent of a journalist.
Okay. Thank you for your comments. So everybody, in light of that, I think what we'll do is we'll set up a new system and we'll be back with you. We'll do the rest of the call a little bit later.
We're going to release those recordings today at 7 o'clock. So stay tuned. It's going to be fun.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye.
So you just heard me talk to the president of CNN, Jeff Zucker, and inform him that that we are going to release a number of recordings today. I unmuted myself into the conference line, and they're still on there. They're listening to me right now. This is being live streamed for those of you still on the call. And we've recorded for a while, and we have clips of various producers talking, the president talking, describing their motives, describing their political philosophy, describing how they don't cover certain things and certain political parties tell them to cover things a certain way. Lots of little clips that takes us into the minds and hearts of our people, powers that be, that inform us, because government is downstream from media. So we're going to be releasing these tapes thanks to one of our sources. One of our brave insiders has given us this information. And as you can see, they're still milling about on the call. They're listening to me right now. They have to, quote, change their system and get a different dial-in, I guess, now, because we've compromised the dial-in. Project
Well, I guess
Veritas.
we need to change the channel, huh? Change the number, huh?
Is that Zucker there?
*6 again.
You're unmuted.
Hey, Jeff, you still there?
Yeah.
They're still on there. Yeah,
You're
so
unmuted.
we don't want to change the channel, really. We want to stay on the channel. We think it's important for the American people to know how you make the sausage, right? How you, to quote Noam Chomsky, manufacture consent. You know, consent should not be manufactured. It should be informed. People should be an informed populace to make informed decisions. So there you have it, folks. Live streaming the CNN 9 a.m. conference call. It was abruptly ended when James
Thanks
O'Keefe.
for using the AT&T
There it is.
teleconferencing service.
AT&T, isn't that the company that Zucker is being fired from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they abruptly ended the conference call when I dialed in, and unfortunately for them, we've been recording for a while. So, what else can I say? There's not much else to
I
say.
think get ready.
I think my message to you for those watching the live stream is get ready, because tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to start releasing these little tapes, little clips, little audio bits of Zucker, the president, who else? David Chalian, vice president,
Stephanie Becker.
What's the name?
Marcus
Mabry. Who's the other man that made the comments about that we recorded about white supremacy?
That was Maz Mabry.
Marcus Mabry made some comments, and we'll be airing those for all to hear and see. And it's important that we hold accountable the mainstream media. The media has to be held to account. They are hurting the American people with their lies, their innuendo, their slander, their defamation, their hyperbole. And I think Mr. Zucker is shaking in his boots right now. I think he's very afraid of what might be coming. So I don't really know what else to say, guys. I mean, content is king, and
probably a brick shot, maybe two.
We were trying to live stream the beginning of the call, but we didn't know when Zucker was going to come in and interject and ask the question. So we just sort of got there. We sort of got in just in the nick of time. What else?
More insiders.
Yeah, more insiders.
More insiders. Thank you to the brave insider who supplied us the information for the call. VeritasTips@protonmail.com. Stay tuned. What's the hashtag?
CNN tapes.
Stay tuned. Hashtag CNN tapes. Released today. Multiple installments every day, each day this week. It's going to be great. This is going to be a great thing. It's going to be a great thing for our republic and for our democracy to have the media being held accountable. You need to hold the media to account. Stay tuned. Hashtag CNN tapes tonight, 7 o'clock.
So you heard what the man said. 7 o'clock tonight. Supposedly, they will be releasing the tapes on CNN. Now I will have to admit that I'm sort of a mixed bag on this. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. However, look, I not to impugn the honor of James O'Keefe, and certainly nothing. I do believe that he has an incredible ethic. I think morally he's very strongly sound. He's admitted his own conservative bias, but he still has exposed both Republicans and Democrats in the past. So he is, in my opinion, proven that he is at least willing to admit his own bias, and as well as, on top of that, does not shy away from reporting on or exposing Republicans as well, because they also need to be held accountable. In addition, I believe they've had, I want to say 8 or 9 different variations of libel and defamation suits brought against him, and they have won every single one. So they have a pretty solid record. Now, I say I'm cautiously optimistic because Project Veritas has in the past released some bombshells, and they have also released some very nothing sandwiches. So they're kind of hit or miss. So that's why I say I'm cautiously optimistic. Another factor that we need to take into account is the media and how they're going to respond to it and react to it, because either they're not going to cover it, or chances are more likely they will simply write it off as another conspiracy or far right-wing conspiracy or something. I mean, they already say that Project Veritas doctors all of their footage and tapes, and that they have absolutely no credibility, because that's just, the only argument they have to protect themselves nowadays. You can also see that Project Veritas is trending on Twitter, as well as earlier today, the hashtags CNN tapes and exposecnn were also trending as well. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. This is sort of breaking news, and it seems relatively big considering the political and media climate right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please do consider liking and subscribing, sharing this video. I don't have any big news agencies covering my expenses or backing me up, so my videos travel entirely by word of mouth, and it would really, really help out the channel, and I would personally appreciate it a lot. Thank you again for watching, and remember, you gotta get that money.
I've decided not to leave this town. Maybe I can stay and find some other nice people who will like me and accept me for who I am.
Trusting your spirit, yes, that's exactly what I'm